Hey, hello, welcome to Cardo's Einfallsreich. My name is Cardo. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from southern Germany, and not only do I love to create new paper crafting projects, I also love to share them with my fellow crafters. This is easier in English than in German because, well, not too many people speak German, but of course, English is not my native language, so please be gentle with me. I'll do my very best. Today I'm going to share with you this project. It's a little box. I'm going to prepare these as my swaps for the upcoming Stampin' Up event that's called OnStage. It's kind of like a crafting convention for Stampin' Up demonstrators, and I'm going to be part of it, and I'm going to take part in the swap. So you create numerous times one and the same sample of your own creation, and then you swap with other demonstrators that prepared also their own creations, and then you get a lot of ideas that you can take home with you. Take home with you is the key word for this box because you can fold it flat completely. It's not glued, it's only like sticked together, and here we have a ribbon that holds it together, so you don't have to glue it, and you can disassemble it and fold it flat and carry it easily with you home in your suitcase. So how did I do it and how does it work? I'm going to tell you now. You're going to need a piece of paper, cardstock. My cardstock has the measurements 10 3/4 inches by 8 1/4 inch. You can look up the measurements down in the description box below. There are measurements in centimeter and also in inches, so whichever you prefer, you can do it. In this video, I'm going to talk in inches because I love to use the scoreboard when doing multiples of one project. So I calculated this, that it works in inches, but there's also a conversion to centimeters. It works as well, but please don't switch between measurements. So stick to imperial or to metric because it's a little bit off. It's not quite exactly the same measurements. But it works in both metric and in imperial. So I'm going to stick to imperial right now. Oh, and also this box works with A4, international A4 cardstock, and also with 8.5 by 11 inches cardstock. So it works for all markets. Okay, we have our piece of paper. In my case, it's black paper. It has the measurements 10 3/4 inch by 8 1/4 inch. We're going to score on the long side on 2 1/4, 4 1/8, 7 5/8, and 9 1/2. Rotate to the short side and score at 1 1/8, 3 inches, 5 1/4, and 7 1/8. You could also do 1 1/8 and 3 inches from both sides because those are the same measurements. The short side is symmetrical, the long side is not. So don't get confused. This is different than this, okay? But it's by design. It was made to be like this. Now we switch tools. I'm going to use my paper trimmer. You can also use scissors, but I think it's easier to go long cuts with your paper trimmer. How do we do this best? Okay, we have score lines. When we look at it from the short side, so the short side is looking towards us, we have here 5 spaces. One a little bit narrower, a little bit wider, the widest part in the middle, and then symmetrical, a little bit narrower, and a narrow part on the side. We are going to keep the middle part in full. This one we're going to shorten, and this part is going to be cut off. Also from downside. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to shorten this. We're going to keep this in full. Shorten, get rid of. Okay, and we want to get rid of the score lines. So we do that by offsetting the score line with the cutting groove. I want to take this first cut, and we're going to go from the second score line, this one here, down to the second score line, while cutting the score line off. So here's the score line. I'm going to offset it a tiny little bit to the right side. I'm cutting down and stop at the second score line. And we're doing exactly the same thing here as well. Leave the paper as it is in the paper trimmer and go up from the second, on the second score line, up to the second intersection. Like this. And since we said we don't want to have the score line at all, we're going to get rid of it. We've offset the score line to the right. Now we're offsetting it a little tiny bit to the left. And we're doing the exact same thing again. We're going down to the second intersection of the score lines. And we're going up to the second intersection of the score lines. What we get is this, little piece of paper here and here. This is the score line, and we got rid of this. And also we're going to need to cut on the first score line down to the second intersection and up to the second intersection. And this piece is what we're going to keep. So this is what we get rid of. And the score line, we want to get rid of it. So we offset our score line a tiny little bit with the cutting groove. We go up to the second intersection, and we cut down to the second intersection of the score lines. So this is what we get. This part is separated, this part is separated, and we have this score line that we wanted to get rid of. And on the down side as well. Okay, I've explained this to you. We are skipping the part where we're doing it on the other side, exactly like we did by the first time, because it's boring to look at it twice. If it was too fast for you, rewind. By the magic of television, I have this prepared for you. It's already ready. So when we remember what we did before, we said these parts we get rid of. This one is going to be shortened, and this one we're going to keep in full. The one we're going to keep in full, we fold it down so that it's safe. We don't want to cut into it. Then we get rid of the score lines. Just take your scissors and snip. So we don't need those. And also we want to get rid of these two parts. So we offset the score line again, just a tiny little bit. Cut down until the first intersection this time, and cut this piece out. And also down here, cut up to the first intersection and get this piece out. Okay, we also need to shorten this bit. So we take this score line, no, not the score line, well, it was a score line, this cutting edge that we created just right now, and we go to 1 3/4 of an inch, and we cut. So these bits we don't need. And then we take this cutted edge again, and we line it up with 1 1/8 of an inch. And now we're going to cut as well, but not in full. And also it's very important that we do it from the same direction. So we're going to cut this piece in half and this piece in half. We're going to cut from up until approximately the middle point. It's not, you don't have to measure it. Don't cut through, don't stop before the middle point, but otherwise it doesn't matter if it's a little bit more than half. So you cut from up, from the upper corner down. And we have this kind of half cut. And now we do the exact same thing on this part, but also we did it here from up to down, here as well, up to down. If you do it here in this direction and here in the other direction, the mechanism won't work. So this is the important part. If you come from the upper corner and go downwards, do it here and do it here simultaneously. This is important. Okay, since this is important, we're going to do it on the other side as well. The middle part we want to keep, so we fold it out of the way so that we can't cut into it. We get rid of the score lines. Okay, this was not nice. A little bit nicer. And we get rid of this part and this part. Offsetting the score lines a little bit with the cutting groove. Cut until the first intersection of score lines. And because I didn't do it good enough, I'm going to take my scissors and do the last bit with my scissors. Okay. And now we're going to shorten this bit. So we're going to go with this edge, we're going to go to 1 3/4 of an inch, like this. Cut that off. And then we go to 1 1/8 of an inch. From up to down until approximately the middle point. Up to down, approximately the middle point. So we do these half cuts. Okay, so the final shape is done. This is what we want to have. This is the box. It would work right now. Now we only make it a little bit more pretty. You can see in my well, first, it's not the first try, but my final prototype that these flaps have rounded edges. I did that with the 2 3/8 circle punch. Usually you would take your punch and go into the paper like this. Now we're doing it the opposite way. We're putting the paper in like this. It's easier to just fold one edge down so that you can hold it here and then maneuver it into your punch from the wrong direction. Go in, try to center it, try to keep a straight edge here, and also don't go in too far. We want to disappear the paper we want to put in the paper that it just disappeared, but not further in. Just in, center it, and then punch. You have the rounded edge, and here, it was a little bit more than I intended to do, but that's okay. Handmade and all that jazz. Okay, we want to do this on the other side as well. Get a second try, maybe it's better this time. Okay, put the paper in from the other side. It's a little bit fiddly, but you'll get the hang of it. And then put it in so that it's just in, but not more. Center it and punch. Yeah, this was a little bit better. So not much here that we cut off. This punch is done. And of course, for the box to close, we want to put a ribbon here. and for that we need a hole. You can use every hole punch you have at hand. I wanted my holes to be in a heart shape, so I borrowed the heart shape from the bee builder punch. I don't know the correct name. So I'm going to use this tiny little heart. First of all, I'm going to mark center because, well, I'm anal about these things. Of course, you can take a ruler, but since I'm making multiples of this, I just took a scrap piece of paper, marked the middle. It's the same width than my box, and so I don't have to, you know, find center with the ruler every time. I just take this kind of template and use this. Probably can't see my little, maybe my little dot, but I can see it, so that's key. Okay, marking the middle point, that's something you can probably also eyeball it. I'm anal about these things. And then there's one thing that's important. Since this punch punches different shapes, not just the little heart, you need to be careful not to go in you know, too far with your paper, because you can see now I would, you know, destroy my rounded edge. So be careful, just punch the little heart and not the other shapes as well. There's my center point, roundabout. Don't punch other shapes, only the little heart. And it works like this. And don't get rid of the little heart, because we're going to use it for decoration later. And we do it on the other side as well. You only need one of the little hearts, by the way. So, but maybe you want to use the other one on a card or something else. I don't know. Okay, come on. For this thing, we only need one. Okay, where's my scoring tool? So we can sharpen the edges, fold and burnish like this, and like this, and like this. And now I'm going to show you how the box works. I didn't do it in the beginning. I just realized. So I'm going to show you the clue right now. So these two flaps go towards each other. I'm going to fold this out of the way so that you can see. We have these little half cuts, and they are going to interlock and form the box. So just let those cuts interlock and then push together. And now it's a safe, safe side of the box. Other side as well. Let these bits interlock. Push them down, and there you have your box. The only thing that needs to be done is put a ribbon here and put a little bit of decoration on it. You can see here I have tags in two different colors. I hope you can see in the video. In my camera it looks like it's all white. But trust me, one is white and one is bubble bath. I've used the tailor-made tags for this. I used the smallest one from the, let's say, basic tags, and the second smallest from the little bit more intricate. This one in white, the bigger one, and the smaller one in bubble bath. And I have it right here. You can see these kind of bits go on these tags, and the round bits go on the rounded edged tags, but I like those more. And also you get 4 out of one time doing die cutting, and there are only 3, so I opted to use the round ones. I like those more. You can see it from down that it's not from downside that it's not the right shape exactly, but it works. I like this more. And I've used the sentiment from the Crafting with You stamp set. You inspire me. I think that's something really nice when you're exchanging ideas with someone, then it's fitting. And fitting is another good keyword. What is fitting inside of the box? I have another one here that's already filled. You can put in some kind of candy. This is advertisement that I don't get paid for, yeah? I had to buy those myself. Those are like, you know, little chocolates, little truffles with strawberry, and they had the right color, so that's why I choose them. Because I love those kind of truffles, and because they had the right color. And you can also fit inside there a business card. Well, I take my business card so that everyone knows who did this project. But if a business card fits in, a gift card, a voucher would fit in as well, because gift cards and business cards have the exact same measurements. So this is what fit in. I'm not going to tie a bow on camera with you right now. I used the black and white gingham ribbon. Is it called gingham ribbon? It's called gingham ribbon. Great. I used this, but I want to go the instructions for this for this tutorial in there, or rather I'd like to put a QR code to this video inside of the box. And well, I'm right now filming the video, so I don't have the QR code yet, so I can't tie it shut right now, but I'm going to decorate the little tags with you. I already did a lot of things ahead, so the sentiment is embossed, heat embossed with black Stampin' Emboss powder and Versamark ink. I like it a little bit more because it's shiny and it's a little bit more bold than if you're just stamping. And I'm going to use one of those little hearts. With this first prototype, I used the little heart that's in the stamp set, and I also embossed it with black Stampin' Emboss powder. Yeah, it's nice, but it's a little bit too much fuss for my for my liking. So I just used what we already have. When we punch the holes, we already have a little heart. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to glue it down like this. And of course, you can never have too much bling bling, because this is definitely missing here. No bling, no go. So I'm going to use the rhinestone basic jewels and put one of the little rhinestones on my heart, and then we're done. So, ta-da, magic of television. We're just using this one because there's already a bow on it. The other heart you can use for whatever you'd like. I hope you liked this instruction. If you've been at the Stampin' Up event at OnStage, I hope you like that too, because this video goes online when the event starts, and maybe we can see each other again in one of my videos. I'd like that very much. I hope you had fun today. Wish you happy crafting, and goodbye. Take care.